Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Clark Maddox. I'm the director of the Watauga Residential College at Appalachian State University. We want to talk with you just a few minutes about why you might want to consider Watauga as you come to Appalachian State. I'm happy to be joined today by one of our students in Watauga, a senior, Daniel Faber. Daniel?
Hey everybody, my name is Daniel Faber. I'm a recreation management major here at Appalachian. This is my senior year, and all 4 years I've been involved in Watauga. It's a great place, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
So we've got a brief presentation we want to share with you and just tell you a little bit about Watauga Residential College. One of the first things that I think helps people understand what Watauga is that we fully integrate the living arrangement of a student with the learning that they do. We try to break down barriers between living and learning wherever possible so our faculty don't just stay in the classroom and the students don't just stay in the dorm. We cross those barriers all the time. We're mostly a general education program, but we are developing classes outside of the general education curriculum. So I like to think of what we do as kind of a 4 year leadership laboratory. It's an opportunity for students to get together and practice leadership, practice their skills of living in community, and do it in a way where what they're really doing is figuring out how to bring together what they're doing in the classroom and what they do in the residence hall and kind of make that a seamless whole.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how it has worked for me my past 4 years. And coming on to this next slide, so the way our residential college is set up is it's a diverse group of people. And so you'll be around people with different backgrounds, experiences, different, racial diversity, all that great stuff. We're also an interdisciplinary program, so you're going to be learning outside of your major. You're going to be learning things that you might not have the chance to learn about. For example, I took a really fun art class while I was in Watauga, and it's very beneficial. And it is selective, so it is a little difficult to get into Watauga, but it is, once you get into it, it's a little prestigious. It's a very good experience.
So one of the ways in which we do that is we put a lot of emphasis on learning as a community. So students in Watauga classes, we try never to make, or we try always to make sure that students are not isolated, that they're just not kind of putting their head down and studying for a test. And so all of our seminars, all of our classes are very participatory. The faculty as a faculty member is often involved in the projects that students are doing. Our classes are very focused not on tests or exams, but they're focused on projects that are meaningful to the student and to Watauga. And so we emphasize this aspect of the courses really being practical and practice based. We don't want them to be passive. We don't want students to not be involved in the classroom. And so we emphasize the ways in which we can take what we're doing in the classroom and take it outside of the classroom. The residence hall that students live in, which you'll hear more about in just a minute, but one of the ways in which we integrate our learning is the residence hall where the student lives also contains our classrooms, it contains common areas for students, and then the faculty offices are in that same complex too.
Yeah, so one of the most important things about Watauga is actually the living space because you're around your peers almost 24/7. So you have the chance to go down and if you're doing a group project with someone in one of your classes, they're just down the hall from you. And because of this, that creates this great community so that you're interacting with the people, that diverse group of people that you wouldn't otherwise get to see in a traditional style dorm or residence hall. So our rooms are actually suite style, which means that you're living with one other roommate and then you share a bathroom with two more suite mates. And this is actually one of the better, situations on campus because one, we have air conditioning, and two, you don't have to walk in your slippers and carry your little shower thing down to the bathroom. So it's a really great living situation. We also have other really cool rooms. We have an art room, we have a music room, we have a library up on the fourth floor, which may or may not be haunted, but that's still up on the table. But other than that, we also have kitchens on every floor, lounges on every floor, classrooms on every floor, and those all make really good study spaces because a lot of times you're going to want to get out of your room and study other places. And then the kitchens are great because you don't have to go all the way down to the first floor to cook. You can go, for me, I live right next to the kitchen and I love to cook. And, it's just a great thing about this dorm.
So one of the ways in which we do what we do is we figure out ways that students and faculty can engage in various common activities together. And again, I think it's important to kind of emphasize that these are things that students and faculty do together. So we share lunches on Tuesday and Thursday. All of the students, when they're first year, will take a 6-hour class in the spring, in the fall with other Wataugans, and then they'll take another 6-hour class in the spring. And those are for Watauga students only. But again, those are those kind of practice-based, project-oriented classes that we talked about earlier. We engage in a lot of different speaker series where we invite speakers to come talk to us. Faculty in their classes will have various speakers that are brought in to participate in their classes. We'll often take classes to engage in field learning activities. So, for instance, one of the classes that Daniel was in with me, the senior seminar class, we went and looked at how other residential colleges conduct their business. So we try to find ways to do things together that not only build community, but that enhance learning.
Yeah, and those lunches are a really great chance for the students to come together, and it sets up the stage for more larger events for us to do. For example, this picture right here is of our homecoming parade float, I guess, but that was all the Wataugans came together and we dressed up, and we usually do this every year, and we go out and participate in APP's homecoming parade. And there's also other things around campus too, like cultural events with the faculty and alternative service breaks. And those, if you haven't heard of those before, are chances for students to go places around the country and even around the world to perform service tasks. And they're just great opportunities outside of Watauga to get more involved.
One of the things I said early on is that we emphasize leadership. One of the ways in which we do that is we concentrate on how we can improve the community that we live in. So we're very focused on not just improving Watauga as a program, but improving Boone as a town, the Appalachian region that we live in, and through events like alternative service experiences, concentrating on how we can improve the nation and the world. But that's really tied in with this notion of leadership. I think one of the things that I always want students to do when they think about Watauga as a possible experience or as a possible program is to recognize that they're going to get the opportunity to hone their leadership in ways that many other students don't get that opportunity. So we emphasize our sophomores and juniors and seniors actively assist the students in as they come in, the first year students. We have a strong mentoring program. We've broken up our fairly large classes. We have about 300 total in Watauga, but we've broken those up into 5 houses, and each house has a certain set of values that they'll concentrate on for the entire college. So we have a house that, for instance, focuses on nature and our interaction with nature. We have a house that focuses on social justice and equity. We have a house that focuses on education. We have another one that concentrates on food insecurity. So those are ways in which smaller groups of students can become leaders for the entire class. And then the last thing that we do is we have our own very active student government. So students, and again, Daniel did this for several years, students will participate in our faculty advisory council, and students have a vote and a say in how we spend our money, in curriculum that we have, classes that we hold. They are even involved when we hire new faculty. And we think that student element and that student participation is one of the things that really makes a difference for us. If all of that's interesting to you, and I hope it is, I will certainly invite you to look at our website, watauga.appstate.edu. You can email us at wrc@appstate.edu, or you can call my office, and the numbers there are 828-262-2417. We find that one of the ways that students understand best what it is that we do in Watauga is to come visit with us. And even in a time like this, we want to try to find ways to do that for students. So if you're interested in sort of seeing what a Watauga class is like, I'll invite you to reach out to me. And we'll arrange for you to attend one of our virtual classes and sit in on it and sort of see what is happening in Watauga.
Yeah, everything that Dr. Maddox just said was absolutely true. You know, I've gained a lot of my own personal leadership experience through Watauga, and if you're interested in doing leadership experience, this is the program for you. So I wholeheartedly agree with what he says, and I I encourage you to reach out to me as well. My email is faberdk@appstate.edu. So yeah, you can reach out to me as well, and I'll give you kind of the student perspective of how this program works. But other than that, I think that sums it up.
Hey, we enjoyed talking with you, and if you have any questions, please do reach out to us. Bye.